Alright guys, rise and grind. Today is Valentine's Day, so of course I wanted to talk about how to talk to girls, but I know that for some of you it's just the workout you want to see, so I'm going to talk about that really quick, and then as soon as I'm done with talking about my workout, I'll go into my thoughts. And basically today I woke up early because I have work in the morning, and so I wanted to get my workout in before. So I started off with the RDLs and I went into some squats. I only did it very lightly because I don't know, I just didn't feel like I was ready this morning. But I still wanted to, basically the way I do it is that it takes a couple days in a row of waking up early, going to sleep on time, and eating well before like I really feel great in the morning during the workout. So it's like, as much as I'm just trying to get stuff done, it's also a battle to be mentally focused. And anyway, that's why I like it. It's a challenge. One thing I've been noticing on the RDLs is that I look a little bit off balance, and it's been like this for a few weeks. I'm just trying to make small mental corrections so that I can continue to perform the movement with efficiency. And I also take into account, it could just be the camera angle, but I think it's more than just that. But as I go adjusting my squat stance and all these things, I expect little other little things to pop up, because as my alignment shifts in one lift, it might change how I align for another lift. So anyway, I'll keep working on it. I'll give you guys an update. So as soon as I did the RDLs and squats, I actually did some bicep curls at the end with just the bar. And if you're someone that wants to get big arms and things like that, one thing I've learned, at least for myself, is that hypertrophy training is all about partial range of motion, because you're really just trying to isolate small muscle groups instead of attacking a big one, like a big muscle group, like in a compound lift. And so with bicep curls, I've been taught my whole life, or at least I thought I've been taught, to do full range of motion from all the way down, or all the way from the bottom all the way up to your chin, basically. But that range of motion is for a chin up, like when you're doing a reverse grip pull up. When you're doing a bicep curl, if you really only want to target your biceps or brachialis or whatever, you're really only going to do a partial range of motion. So if you can do a full curl with your hands all the way down, all the way up to your chin, eliminate the bottom, let's say like 10 or 15% of the movement, and then eliminate the top 50% of the movement, and that's all you need to get a good bicep pump. And so I just did curls today, basically to what I call grease the groove, which is just to keep things well oiled, I guess. I haven't done arms in a while, and so I wanted to feel the connection, get blood pumping. But one thing I've learned, well, at least I don't know if this is true, it's just in my head, is that the way I understand it, hypertrophy training is like taking your muscles basically and like turning them into water balloons. So you're pushing blood into the muscle with a forceful contraction. You're also pushing, there's like I never take the time to look up all the different things that are in the storage, but there's always glycogen and other things that are in your system available for your muscles to use, and they're there to fuel your muscles. But when you do hypertrophy training and you're chasing a pump, basically you're trying to hack your body's biomechanics by forcing all the fluid into your muscles at once, and so it makes you look bigger. And so I used in the gym, the way I used to do it is that I learned, if you rep until you start to feel the burn, go as many reps as you can into that before, like let's say you're doing a decent weight. Also, I learned hypertrophy training is best done with lightweight, by the way, but if you want to learn more about that, look up Ryan Humiston on YouTube. He'll explain it better. But anyway, so basically I would be doing these bicep curls or whatever, and I start to feel the burn, and let's say I'm at rep 30 or around 25, 30, maybe a little bit lower. I'll do 10 or 15 more reps, and you just have to basically push yourself through the burn, basically, and I'd get a great pump, and my arms started growing and all these things. The more I've thought about it, the more I realize how unsafe that might be. If you think of your biceps or any other muscle, small muscle as a water balloon, it's like you can't use a big puffed up water balloon to perform strength movements. So anyway, as I think about it, I imagine that your blood pressure is going up as you do that. A lot of different things, a lot of strain is being induced into the system, and I just personally don't feel safe pushing myself like that hard for no reason, just besides chasing a pump, because the pump is going to be gone within like an hour, you know. Over weeks and months, your arms will start to build size, But as I've learned as well, is that it doesn't equate to strength. Like, let's say for bicep curls, lateral shoulder, like side to lateral raises with your shoulders, let's say like lat pull down or whatever. Every single one of those movements, I actually found if you do lightweight for high reps, you'll get better results. And so how can you get stronger training lighter weight? It's not possible physically, as in like with the laws of physics, it's not possible. You're just making your muscles bigger, and that's it. So anyway, that's as much as I've learned up to this point. I'm a very basic level fitness guy, I guess. I don't really know too much, but what I do know is that it doesn't help when it comes to building strength to be ginormous. If you think about all the most famous athletes, the ones that play the best in their position in any sport, you're gonna realize that their bodies are actually more toned, they're tight, and they're dense. The musculature is a lot more dense. You don't see, unless they're just on steroids, you don't see ginormous dudes like bodybuilders squatting, let's say 500, 600, 800 pounds, but also doing it with correct form and make it look like it's kind of easy, if that makes sense. When you watch professional weightlifters, they lift the weight in such a way that like their mechanics really show, and they show that they know exactly how they're lifting. With the bodybuilding, the squat stance is like so wide and it's so exaggerated, and they always have to have a spotter behind them, like they're basically never able to do the rep on their own. It's because their bodies never developed the strength. They've got poofy muscles surrounding their skeletal frame. And if you want to keep learning about that, I would recommend just looking up Olympic weightlifting. There's different guys that have channels. Just look up weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting. One guy that I'm watching that I've been watching for months, his name is Ivan Djuric, IVANDJURIC. He's the one that inspired me to start recording videos like this. So just check him out if you want to learn more about just like basic weightlifting and strength training. So now for the topic of the video, talking to girls. This is the fun one because it seems like every Valentine's Day, it's the joke is that basically no one is in a stable relationship, or no one's talking to other people, whether it be boys or guys or girls. Like no one's talking to people of the opposite sex, and I think that's just it. That's the issue, is no talking is happening. But what I've come to learn, I guess, as much as I've thought about it, is that talking to girls as a concept is BS. It's bullshit. Not like you shouldn't talk to girls. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there's no such thing as a magic way to talk to any person. Like you should just talk to all people the same, with respect, with regards to treating them well as a person, and taking interest in what they're saying. Those are just general skills that you practice with any human being. But what I've heard a lot is people talking about like there's a specific way to talk to girls, and if that's true or not, I don't really care. I've found success myself just being myself, but also like understanding where boundaries are. There's things that are interesting to some people and things that are interesting to other people, and you have to be tactful and careful not to, I guess if you have a crude sense of humor like I do, to be careful not to go in too hot too early. But that's what you do with anyone, right? Like you don't go up to any random dude and just say any sus, like whatever, like gay comment, you know. Only a certain type of maybe friend or someone else would laugh at the joke. So anyway, I think if you as a person expect people to come up to you and talk to you in one certain way, it would be understandable why a lot of people are just single these days. It's like no one can read your mind, and you trying to talk to someone else, you can't read their mind. It's like there just has to be a normal level of dialogue, and also understanding and acceptance on the part of whoever's being talked to. You just have to understand that no one's perfect, and we're just trying to get to know each other. The thing is that I think in today's society, I don't know if it's always been this way. I think in today's society, guys are somewhat like trained, almost like dogs, to put women on a pedestal. Not like women are not great or whatever, but so are guys. Guys are great too. It's like we're all just people, and rather than thinking that girls are angels, no one is an angel on earth. Everyone, we all have our weaknesses and things like that. girls actually appreciate it more, I think, when you talk to them as if they're a normal person. When you put them on a pedestal, it affects the way that you're able to communicate with them. And if you think they're perfect and then you have to gain their approval or something like that, it totally ruins the dynamic. And there's no relationship that can form from that, as far as I understand. So hopefully this helps a little bit. Just talk to people. Just treat them like they're like people and not anything else. And yeah, if a girl expects you to talk to her in some sort of way like she's a princess, then she's just entitled. At least in my opinion, like I don't like, I will be respectful to anyone who tries to talk to me about anything. I'll just listen to them and hear them out. If someone's not willing to do that and give you decent like respect, then I just don't think that that's a conversation or a person that I'd like to have a conversation with. And so I know the screen is black, but I just wanted to say one more thing. This is kind of like, I love to argue and debate, and argue not as in like fighting with words, but argue as in like presenting different points of view. One argument I like to make is that women talk so much about talking to women, you know, like they expect you to talk to them in a certain way. But the funny thing though is that I get the sense that a lot of girls don't really like each other. I don't know if it's just me. I think a lot of girls, they go back and forth like saying nice things. And it's funny because when girls talk to each other, all they ever do is compliment each other on their looks, as far as small talk goes. But if you're a guy, you kind of get you have an inherent understanding that you can't just go up to any girl you want and say, oh my gosh, your hair looks so beautiful, oh my gosh, all these things. When you're too nice like that, it just doesn't really go over well. But when girls talk to each other, that's all they can say about each other. It's like, oh my gosh, your hair's so pretty, I love your this, I love that. And it's kind of funny that the way that girls talk to each other is different than how they expect us to talk to them. And I don't know if anyone is really like, I mean, anyway, I'll just say this. I don't know who, if women are so busy coaching guys on how to talk to girls, I don't know who's teaching girls how to interact with guys. I don't know if that's a thing that happens these days, but regardless, I think women are just more socially intelligent, so I think they need less coaching than guys do. But so that's just my 10 cents. And I obviously have way more thoughts, but I'll be sharing them in other videos. So have a good one. Get off your butt. Go to the gym. Thanks for listening. Bye.